Hello, everyone. Welcome to another book talk here at Eight Letters Bookstore and Publishing. I'm your host and creative director, Cindy Wong. And with us today is the author of The Conscious Leader, Anna Maria. Anna Maria is a leadership mentor and the voice behind The Conscious Leader. As a co founder of Homebuyer Wallet and creator of the Empress VA, she blends operational excellence with deep emotional intelligence. Known for her calm presence and heart led leadership, Anna helps others lead with clarity, courage, and compassion without losing themselves in the process. Without further ado, let us all welcome Anna. Hi, Anna. Welcome to Eight Letters.
Hi, Cindy. It's really nice being here. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for gracing the show. So we'll dive right into the questions that we prepared for you. For those of you guys who are watching right now, you'll see what the conscious leader is all about. You can read that in the caption, but it's all about leadership, but a different
Mhm,
kind of leadership, and we'll discuss that here. The first question that we have for you, Anna, is about redefining leadership. In your book,
mhm,
you have emphasized the need to redefine strong leadership. What
mhm.
inspired you to take this approach, and how did you envision the future of leadership evolving as a result?
Okay, so from the get go, I already know that I have this gift of leadership. Even in school, I was the class president and I was also the Girl Scout master. And being the eldest in the family, I already know how to lead people. But back then, um, I think I have a different perspective about leadership. Like for example, when I was an associate pastor and I was leading the youth ministry, so I thought that being the leader, I have to be the loudest person in the room. I have to have all the answers to their questions, and I also have to be the most composed, and I also have to constantly prove myself that I am the leader. But now that I am actually leading a team, I have a team of 30 people, and in a startup company, I realized that actually strength is very, very different when you are in still in the trenches. Okay, so you have to uh, actually define yourself in a different way. So you are asking me what inspired me to write this book. Actually, I was not really set out to uh, write a book. I just needed something for myself, actually. So I was thinking, if you will ever have the chance to read my book, I said there that I wish that someone handed me this book prior to me being the leader of this company. So, because the role that I have right now, most of the time it places me to uh, brush, no, how do I say that? Put me in the places shoulder to shoulder with other leaders. And at the same time, um, I also get to meet a lot of decision makers. And unfortunately, I see a lot of them, you know, experiencing burnout because they are trying to perform leadership. So instead of like trying to uh, living it as a leader, no. Okay, so your other question, you mentioned to me that what I think would be the future of leadership, right? So you asked me that. I think with a lot of people being more conscious as a leader, I think the future of leadership would be quieter, more intentional, more human, and it would no longer be about dominance. And I think every leader would have this something in their heart that feels more honest and grounded. I hope I answer your question with that one.
You have Anna, and every line na mention mo kanina, I can totally relate. Well, firstly, I'm the eldest, so I know what you meant about leading people, leading your siblings. But of course, I didn't think about it like that back then. I was more of a rebel, so siguro I don't know. I don't think I was the good example. But going back, going back to
Same,
your
I can relate.
oo, 'di ba? Kasi parang tayo
And
yung guinea
actually,
pig.
yes, at saka iba talaga yung upbringing ng generation before with the
Mm,
current
mm,
generation. So, we have a different
mm.
perspective back then.
Oo. And Ana, yung minention mo kanina, surprisingly, when I saw your book, when I read your book, I feel like, oh, this is actually one of the things na not very commonly discussed, because
Mhm.
when you're a leader, well, when growing up, ang mga nababasa kong leadership books, sometimes yung male dominant, right?
Yes.
Puro mga lalaki, and of course, you have to do this,
Yes.
you have to do that, you have to be strong, show your strength, etc., etc. And which leads me to my next question:
Yeah.
softening versus hardening. So you mentioned that leaders should rise by softening into their truest selves. Can you elaborate on that? Ang ibig bang sabihin nun, by the word itself, malambot, ganyan, yes ka lang
Yeah.
ng yes, oo. Ayan, gusto ko tong maintindihan.
Yes.
How does it contrast with the traditional views of leadership?
Okay, so before I answer your question, if I am allowed to share a little, just a short story. I think
Sure,
it's just a
sure.
couple of months ago when I was talking with my CEO, and he told me there was an incident where uh, I think it was not his intention to really compare me to the directors, but then he said something um, to the other director. Actually, it was the HR director, and he told uh, her that okay, you did better than Anna this time. So I think he was not really his intention to really compare to me, because he was just trying to motivate the HR director, because they are looking up to me, no. So in that moment, so I said, okay, I think that's fine in that particular moment. But then, of course, I have to ask my CEO, and I said if I could speak with him with a few in a few minutes, so I could um, discuss something to him that I think um, medyo off para sa akin. So with that, of course, we have some conversation, and I told him um, Cam, um, I I did not like how it landed, your words, how it landed earlier with the HR director, and he asked me why. So I explained things to him, and I said, um, I know that you love me and you care about me as my leader, so you would not intentionally hurt me with those words. So I know it's just this is me. It's my boundaries. It's my filter. So I'm thinking that if I don't do these things to myself, I think I will not also allow other people to do the same thing with me. I mean, um, I am already in this position because I am no longer a performer. So, what is the connection of that to your question about being soft? So, uh, uh, and my CEO answered to me at that moment. He said to me, "Anna, we have been working for 6 years now, and I am still um, shocked or astonished on how soft you are." But he doesn't he didn't mean that in a bad way. But he was just telling me that you are so soft, but you can still stand up for yourself, that you can actually being true to yourself. So to answer your question, actually that is a very good question. When I say soften into your truest self, I don't mean actually weakness. I mean honesty. So it's about letting go of anything that um, is covering the truest self that you have, whether it's an armor that we wear, whether it's a mask or the avatar that we put, just to show other people that we are capable, instead of uh, just leaning to who we really are. Because in our traditional leadership, like what did we discussed in the initial question, before we are being taught about hardening as a leader. We don't have to show emotion. We have to keep distance, and we never admit sometimes that we are hurt, that we are having doubt, or we are unsure of our decision, right? But with this book about conscious leadership, um, it talks about empathy. It talks about being aware of everything that you are doing. Maybe sometimes it's kind of tiring or exhausting, simply because you have to think about everything before you say something, before you act, or before you respond to other people. But those are actually your strength. And when you are actually being true to yourself, you're not really actually losing your edge. um, I actually told this to him, to my CEO, earlier when we were discussing about leadership. I said, do not question your way of leadership, because um, you being kind, you are just leading with a deeper kind of strength. And I think that is the definition of what I wrote in the book: being soft in your truest self, not being weak.
I love it. I love the answer kasi parang I I I understand na sometimes pag pag nandun ka na sa position na you're in that level, the managerial
Mhm.
level, even the managers that I had in the past, I had a feeling that they kind of hindi ka pwede maging emotional,
Yeah.
as an employee, like konting ano mo lang, ay, hindi ka
Yes.
pwedeng umiyak sa interview or whatsoever.
Uh,
Basta you shouldn't
y-
show any emotions.
an emotion.
Pero
Yeah.
yes, yes. But of course that's something else. That's another
Yes.
thing. You can still be true. You can show your authenticity, but then at the same time, there's still strength in that in
Yes.
that persona. Oo, gusto ko
Yeah.
'yan. Parang wow.
Different lang siya to the norm, because in the society's norm, you always see a different kind of strength, like dominance, aggressiveness, loudness. But in my book, I explained that there is something else. There is a different kind of strength that you can actually show to other people without losing your edge. And that's it.
Yes, yes. I feel like I need to apply these. I need to apply this to myself. Ayan. So you mentioned a lot of different elements, or
Yes.
I should say power tools of
Mm-hmm.
leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You listed presence, kindness, boundaries, vulnerability, and
Yeah.
purpose. These are the new power tools of sustainable
Yeah.
leadership. Um, how can leaders effectively cultivate these qualities in their daily lives? Because I can see, because I'm a leader myself, so I feel like, oh, we have these goals, we have to reach our goals, but
Yes.
then at the same time, how I know I also have to be conscious, but it takes time or it takes
Yeah.
longer. Mm-mm. Ayan.
Yeah, in reality, we are all becoming. We are all work in progress, right? We're not yet done. I think nobody is really done in this life being the best that they can be, right? We are always aiming for becoming better, the best version of ourselves. So, when you say about all those qualities that you mentioned, like, for example, presence, kindness, boundaries, vulnerability, purpose. Actually, they are not just buzzwords for me. They are actually my daily daily exercise, daily work. Because if you come to think of it, if you will really go deeper to each of those words, actually presence means the actual listening to somebody. Like right now that we are having conversation, I am not just waiting for you to speak. I'm actually listening to every word that you say so I could give a valuable response, right? Even though I'm currently very nervous, but I'm not just waiting for you to speak. I'm really actually listening to every word that you say. I'm very keen. So for kindness, I used to be like this because I'm a Libra. I'm a people pleaser. I used to please people every time. Um, um, I have friends. I try my best to actually not do anything that would hurt them or anything that would like, let me just like for example their birthdays. I have to remember all their birthdays. I have to buy gifts because I don't want them to get sad that nobody gives them a gift, things like that. Very very vain if you will come to think of it. But um, right now I have a different kind of meaning of kindness. So it's no longer about people pleasing. It's about me being human. I'm always standing now with the platform of my humanity, that I am no longer pleasing, trying to please people or putting them into pedestal. I have standards. Like for example, with my team as a leader, I allow them to explore, I allow them to be creative, but still they have to deliver up to standards. And of course, for the boundaries, all of us must have boundaries. That is something that most people um, are not practicing. But of course, your boundaries is the one that is protecting you. It will protect also your energy so you can keep on showing up, because if you lose your boundaries, you will get exhausted. Imagine if your team member will call you while you are sleeping at like 12 p.m. In the afternoon if you are working at night, and just to tell you something that is not really that urgent or important. You can actually say no, we can talk about it later, something like that. And then the vulnerability, it will open up it will open more doors for connection. I'm actually a relationship person. I always try to build relationship with a lot of people every time that I meet someone. I'm not really a fan of um how do you say that, like the simple talk, like hi and hello and how's the weather today, like that. I always want to connect. I'm always up for deeper things and not all people can relate to that. But if there's one thing that I want people to know, if you will only show people just enough of you being human, you can actually build connection. And the last but not the least that you mentioned is about purpose. Actually, the your purpose in life is the only thing that will keep you grounded. Even all other things that are happening around you is um, a little chaotic sometimes, or maybe unsure. But if you have your purpose in your life, you will stay anchored and you will stay grounded. So if you are only able to build these qualities like muscle, like every day I try to do some exercise and I use those dumbbells because I have flabby arms before, and now I no longer have them because of exercise. It's the same thing with these qualities. You just have to practice them every day. In what ways you can use reflections, you can use like in the way you communicate or relate to other people, you can practice it. And one thing that I think that we should really, as this one is general for all the Filipinos, we have a lot of unlearning to do. I know Filipinos all has a lot of Filipinos have a lot of good values, but we also have a lot of unlearning to do. So we can replace those things with all these qualities: presence, kindness, boundaries, vulnerability, and purpose.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Anna. So I'm sure a lot of our audience are learning a lot from this book talk. And I'm now down to my last two questions. Pero
Yeah.
before we get there, I just want to remind our viewers right now to get a copy of the book. It's available on our website, Shopee, Lazada, Amazon, Gumroad. Paperback, ebooks are also available. So make sure to get a copy. The links are there in the caption. Okay, don't forget to do
Yeah.
that. So ayan.
It's
So
here
Anna,
actually.
oh yay,
Yeah.
ayan. Look at that. I love the cover. It's so powerful.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
My team actually
Yes.
love the cover. They say it's so bright and
Um,
um very
yes.
attractive.
Very attractive. I love the purple color. Parang feeling ko,
Yes.
yeah, it's about money, and also the yellow color, like it's symbolizing um, enlightenment or leadership.
Yeah.
So, right? Maybe Anna,
Correct.
maybe you can also share your personal journey. Maybe you can share a personal story from your own leadership journey that illustrates the principles outlined in your book. And sa tingin mo, like, how did that experience shape your understanding of what it means to be a conscious leader?
Okay, so before I started working online as a virtual assistant, and it was actually a very how could I say that it is a learning process simply because um, I was trying to find a way for me to earn online, and it was almost pandemic at that time. Actually, just backstory, I already started working online, but it was not actually work from home. So I attended um, a virtual office. They call it a virtual office. So you also work virtually, but you have to go to a place where all of the virtual assistants are working together. But then in that moment I could see that most of these people are we actually including myself, we were underpaid. So at that time I was talking to the Filipino supervisor, and I was trying to explain to him why the foreigner or the American client is doing this to Filipinos, because for me it's not fair. But at that time that I'm still not practicing mindfulness, and I don't do meditation at the time. I don't do my affirmation. I'm still not, how do I say, they say that, awaken. Okay, so I actually had a discussion with that particular client, and then I got fired. So after that, of course I was not negative about it, but I had an opportunity uh, to look at myself at that moment. You have been doing, Anna, you have been doing this for a long time. You've always been fighting for people who are experiencing unfair treatment. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to do it this way every time, and then you will just say goodbye to that particular job because you have been fighting for the rights of the people in a wrong way? So with that, I did my best to really learn. I bought books like, for example, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So I said, okay, this is how it has to be done. You have to be conscious of everything that you are saying, you are doing. So every time you have to be aware of yourself. So with that, I started my affirmation. I started my my journey inward, and then going fast forward, I joined a virtual agency where I became a virtual assistant, and then where that's the place where I met my current client, who is now my direct client. So working as a virtual assistant, that's where I started practicing my leadership, although it was just the two of us. And then little by little, the business grew. Of course, there are incoming members during that time, and then there is since I was the pioneer, I didn't have any other choice but to lead these people but of course I have to find ways on how am I going to lead them in a right way. So that's the time that I was being mentored by my CEO, and he was teaching me how to handle these people this way and that way. But at the same time, I'm also doing it my way. Like I said, I'm having a journey inward and trying to remove anything that is no longer working. So that's the thing. So now that we are getting bigger, we have 30 people in our team. I try to build a very unique environment. I'm actually like I'm always telling my team. I always call you team, but they are all leaders in their own way, because I was able to create a work environment that is so unique that everyone could thrive, and there's no toxicity. We unlearn, we remove, we shake. We have shaken off all the toxic, how do you say that, the toxic way that you would usually see in a corporate work setup. So I think that's it. That's the journey that I have been with this consciousness. I always try to, um, be mindful of everything that I say or do. I always try to be conscious on how I respond every time that I get, sometimes you are busy, right? And then somebody will send you a message which is not urgent. So before I respond to those kind of messages, I think, how will I respond to this person when I am being distracted? So I used to, like, just say anything, but now I would always try to say, "Oh, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for that message. I will get back to you later." So I try to be mindful of everything that I would impart to these people. That's the thing.
Thank you, Anna. I think it takes a lot of experiences to get to that
Yeah.
level that you are in now, and I can really see na you should be the perfect model for all the managers out there na dapat they really think about what they say bago nila sabihin, or being mindful kasi
Yeah.
we're all humans pa rin naman at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we all have that common goal. At the end of the day, we're
Uh-huh.
just trying to help out each other. Sabi mo nga kanina, what I love about your answer earlier, you said you're not just, when I call you a team, you're not just my team, you're all leaders. So
Yes.
I feel like, wow, okay, this is so empowering. And I need to apply this then sa aking team. 'Di ba? Kasi iba rin, iba
Yeah.
iba pag ano iba kapag they're
Oh,
self-motivated, and not us just reminding them all the time that this is what you should do, blah 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 blah.
yeah.
They should be empowered as
Yeah.
well. Ayan, we're running a little bit out of time,
Yeah.
pero I have this one last question na lang.
Mhm.
But yeah, practical steps for those who are looking to deepen their leadership without feeling pressured to become someone they're not. What practical steps, kahit isang step na lang, can they take to
Ah,
start their
okay.
journey toward conscious leadership?
Okay, isa lang. I could only give one because we're running, like you said, we're running out of time. Just start with self-awareness. You just have to reflect on your values. What actually do you stand for? And then with that, you have to practice presence. So in every conversation, kay meeting yan, events, even in how you speak with yourself. Actually, I just told my daughter earlier, you know, anak, I call her anak. Um, if you only know how powerful your words are, you will be very very careful on how you speak with yourself, because sometimes when we are angry or mad or anything or frustrated, we tell to ourselves, ay, ganto ka kasi ganyan ka. No, we have to start with self awareness, and that goes with our conversation, the way we talk, with other people and with ourselves, of course. We have to surround ourselves with honest feedback. And I think I will end with this simple line. You just need to become more of you, because you know who you are to the core. You know you are a good person. You know you are you always wanted to do, to give kindness to other people, and you have to start with that. And if there is only one takeaway from everything that we have discussed this afternoon, I think um I would want everyone to remember that you just have to be true to yourself, because every one of us, we want to do good, we want to be kind to other people, and we just have to start from that. And that's I think yun yung maiiwan ko sa kanila, sa mga nakikinig ngayon.
And thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. You have imparted so much wisdom today sa ating viewers. At syempre, kahit ako, kahit sa akin. I really treasure this conversation. Thank you so much. Once again, for our viewers na nanonood ngayon, please make sure to get a copy of The Conscious Leader by Anna Maria. It's available now on our website, Shopee, Lazada. Yan, maraming umu-order sa amin ngayon. Dapat isa ka na doon. Ayan. And also, you can get it on Amazon if you're overseas, or Gumroad. Paperback and ebooks are available. Ayan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna. And one last thing, saan ka namin pwedeng i-follow?
Okay, thank you so much again for the time that you have spent with me. I know you are also a busy person, but thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to discuss about the book. So you can actually uh, find my social handles, like sa IG, it's the conscious leader 2025, and for the Facebook, it's the conscious leader book. And you can always find the links to buy the book from the Eight Letters website and page. Of course, I'm always there, and you will always see me in the next coming days. More of the promotion.
Ayan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna, for gracing the book talk. And also to our viewers, I hope to see you again next time. And so far, well, just make sure to get a copy. And of course, have a nice weekend.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
everyone.
Cindy.